Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are looking at my desk. I went searching for more Boho things that I could use for the the Boho project that Becky is doing. I'm going to work along with her. She is doing a 6-inch block Boho stitching, and this is going to be mostly slow stitching. I'm only going to be on until 8 o'clock this morning. So, yeah. So, good morning. I hope that you all have had a really good weekend. I have. I've been doing a lot of stitching that I want to show you. So, let me get into my stream and welcome folks in, get set up. I always have to do that when I come online. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Becky. Good morning, ladies. Yeah, I'm only going to be on till 8 o'clock this morning. I thought that I would try the Goodwill bins today. So, and it's at least an hour drive up there for me. And I have to have some time to get dressed to go out. I'm dressed. I'm not in my pajamas. But yeah, it's going to take me some time here. I am zoomed way out because my desk is stacked full. So I'm going to be kind of showing you some more of the things that I found. So let me fix my quality and my chat. My quality is only at 480. Let's do advanced to 1080. And my chat is on top messages. Let's put them on all messages. There we go. Good morning to you. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't need any to bring home anymore, but I'm kind of looking for fabrics and trims and things like that. So here is some braided, also little eyelet trim and some little heart trim here, some lace trim in here that I might cut down a little more lace trim. So I'm just going to kind of go through these. This I thought would work nice with the boho, just maybe one square of it. It is a banner type trim. I got it at Hobby Lobby, I believe. I am going to stop in to, yeah, I got it at Hobby Lobby. No, well, it says 5 for $1. I don't know where I got it. Where I got that at Hobby Lobby or where, but 5 for $1 is not a bad price. This is a table runner, and I think I bought this from Pearl. I think I bought it online, but it does have some little bead type things, some gold stitching, an applique, as KCN would say, and it has these big tassels at the end, which are cool, but they're big and bulky. So I might, whoops, something went over the cliff there. I'll have to pull it out. This I pulled out because I'm going to start a garden journal in this. It's Flower Fairies. And it starts with spring. It starts in March. So if I want to, flowers are going to come up here. Of course, there's only one page per month here. Let's see if there's notes at the back. Yeah, see, there's things at the back. Well, addresses. I don't need addresses. But I thought this would be fun to kind of keep track of. My other garden journal is full. So that goes out in the other room. These are some log cabin quilt squares that I think I got from when Pearl had her sale and Lindy and Sean were on. I think I got these from Lindy and Sean. They're really nice. They're well done, well made. I think I have four of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them exactly. I won't make a pillow or anything because we don't use the throw pillows. But I got them out. Might make a nice needle book or something. And I got just fabric that I found along the way. I might keep this piece out. This is just floral. I might use it in my slow stitching. This piece in my slow stitching. And this just will go over with all my other fabrics. One thing that I'm looking for today are those flip top boxes. Here's a little bit of trim. I'm going to put this in my bag here that I have set out for boho. Now I won't use all of this, but some of it I will. And these are the ties I was thinking of that I showed the other. I mean, I didn't show them. I was showing some ties and I was saying they weren't the ones I thought they were. Here's the ones I thought I could use for boho. Let me take these out. This one is kind of not paisley. It's got flourishes on it and some kind of like little pendants. And this one is weird. This one is weird. This is obviously polyester. But you know, that might work, just that little design. I haven't torn this one apart yet. And then there's this one. There's 2 more here, 3 more. There's this one that I thought was very cool. It's kind of a different design. And there's this green one that I've already taken apart. I think this is silk. It feels like silk, kind of paisley. And then there's this Hawaiian one. I know it's Hawaiian because I saw the tag when I took a very bright color. So that will obviously be very boho. So those are the ties that I have one more. I'm not sure where it's at, but these will work. So I'm going to start another boho bag, I guess. Put this one in here. And I'll come to this later. This is just a piece that I want to save for my slow stitching. I've been searching my fabrics and stuff. I've been going back into the back room. Here's some honeybee fabric that I haven't even used. Some floral. I think I got this at the thrift store. Could have got it at Walmart. And then this is some that I got at the quilt store. And this, I remember buying this birdhouse fabric. I got that at the quilt store. And looks like a newspaper article. This is all last year, I believe. I think this is quilt store stuff. So just some more fabrics that need to be put away, I guess. And I'm kind of clearing off my desk here. This is a jar of, I think I went through these the other day. Well, I went through them. These are the beads and stuff. Remember, I got these. I think I got these from Lindy and Sean because they were selling a lot of beads. Some tassels and bracelets. I think Lindy may have made these. This would be cool, but if they wanted to put it in a journal, I'm not sure how. I'm not going to take all these out because they're all beads and seed beads and things like that. That if I start taking them out, they're way too thick for boho, too big. Well, some of these. This one might work, but it's more of an embellishment. So, those were the, I think this was the Lindy and Sean bead bag that I was in search of beads because I need more beading, and I got it now. These I call the jelly. No, these ones I call the jelly ones. These are round red ones, and these kind of look like little jelly squares. They're kind of cute in their way, but they look like little jelly pieces. But they're not. They're just kind of transparent orange. And so I have to find a place to put these. I kind of cleared off a spot. I had a spot in front of my door that I was just... Then I have some red fabrics here that I sorted by color. I was going through these at Christmas, and obviously I didn't use, I got some wool here, or is that felt? It's stretchy. Maybe it's cut on the bias. I think this is wool. Strips. This is like a duck cloth. And then I found a blue jean pocket that I saved when I tore off blue jeans. I was in saving that. Some yellow fabric here that I'll probably use in my slow stitching. Put it down there. And then here's another table runner that does have fringe here. Now this I could use on the boho, the fringe part, because it's very thin. So I might just take off the bottom part. It's a table runner. I don't really care for, I like it for my craft, but I'll never use it in my house because it's so dark. It's so dark, and I don't like all this dark stuff. Our house is dark enough. So I just got it to use in my craft. It's kind of nice in its own way. This is the back of it. This is the front of it. So there's that. I'm going to save that out. And this is all going to go in the fabric stuff. And let's see. These are the ties. These, I guess I did bring them in. I'll have to show you. Here's another tie. This one is weird because it's like a cow ornament on a truck, a semi-truck. I think this was for a truck driver. Why a truck driver would be wearing a tie. There's a cow tail there. I don't know if I'd use that on boho, but it's kind of a weird tie. I'm going to put it in here. I probably won't use it for boho. It doesn't say boho to me. Although boho is very eclectic, and then I just have some tie interfacing that I like to use with my slow stitching. And then these I tore apart. I bought a big duvet or ottoman cover. It was really a weird size from Pearl, and I tore it all apart, and here's some of the savings from it. It's got trim in there. Strips of it I might be able to use, but I also have these little hanger things. Now I like this without the fringe on it, but I would never use it on a piece that I'm going to send because it's so bulky. You know, it's a bundle ball. It's part of a tassel. So that's kind of the savings of the trims that, and I could maybe use a portion, you know, like a little piece like this, maybe tear off some of the backing and make it a little thinner because it's very stitched together. But a little piece like this might go on. And you guys aren't seeing it very well because I'm so zoomed out. But I'm zoomed out because my desk was full. If I was zoomed in, you wouldn't see anything but one thing. So let me let me get organized here. And let's see, were these the beads that I was, no, these were just some more beads that I was going through for boho. These were, so I could really put those with, I need to find a spot for those. Maybe I'll look for something to put them in. And this is just a cotton piece. No, let's put that over there. Now this, I had it in among, and these are like dust scatter pins and stuff. This is when I was doing those foxes. There's a glue stick. Here's a little needlepoint thing. Here's a flower leaf. Those could go in the boho. Stamp. Tape. Some tape here. What I was doing there. I don't think I was doing this. This is a part of a book. Some black lace. Let's keep the black lace out. Some pieces that can go in boho. Here's some ribbon. That's cute. And this is just kind of dust scatter here. I need to go all through these pins. I'm going to save that out, an elastic. And I don't think there's any more in here. I'll have to go all through these pins and paint brushes and glue sticks. There's another little piece of fabric. Not much on it. It was cactus fabric. Sponges. So I'm going to clean this box out and use it for storage because it's a nice storage box. Now I dropped something here. Nice trims. So I'm not going to work on the boho today because I want to get out of here by 8 o'clock. Well, I might measure out the pieces. I might do that. But I want to show you my slow stitching stuff here. Oh, I want to put this in a bag that I've been saving here. Let's put this in here. I think this is one of my boho bags. These were the beads and stuff I've been saving, but we'll put these in here just to... And then I'll get them out again and start the pieces. But I'm still kind of in the hunter-gatherer phase. Here's the fabric from that ottoman cover or whatever, duvet, whatever it was. It was like about 6 by 6, and it was rounded. It looked like it just fit over a square ottoman, and it had elastic edges, and it kind of fit like a fitted sheet. And it had a lot of fringe on it too. And I got that in the other room. I didn't bring it out, but I thought this was very boho. I thought that could be used. So I'm just going to stick all of this in here. I have to get to the post office today. I need to go to the bank. I want to go. First thing place I'm going to go is the Goodwill bins. All right, let's get this off my desk. Oops, here's another piece of fabric I thought would be nice for boho. Let me put this over here. If it'll fit. Almost. Hold on, I gotta move the jar. Well, we'll put it like this, although that's pretty risky. And this is another set of pins and everything that I need to go through and sort these out. I got a stamp, and I don't have any fabrics or anything in here. My pencils, my pencil sharpener. This is stuff I was using at my desk. And I set it aside, and it got covered up with boxes. You know how that goes. All right, let me put this over here. And I'm down to what I was doing for... I really had fun Sunday night doing I'm going to save this little scrappy piece of paper for my journal. Pinky paper square. I had fun Sunday night doing these doodles. I don't know what I did with them all. I'll put this one up here. Okay, so this I'm saving for Boho. So now I'm down to the linens and things. Oh, here's my other ones. These are the ones I did Sunday night. I got them in order here. Put that other one with it. What did I do with it? I want to start numbering these because I've got quite a few. I'm behind 2 weeks, so I think. All right. So if you watch K3N Cloth Tales, let me stop and say good morning to everybody. Let me refresh my chat. I just finished watching K3N this morning. I was up at 3:30. I need that extra hours in the morning. I need that time to myself to just, I'm going to zoom in now. Hold on. Maybe like that. Tip it a little. How is that? There we go. Hi, Kimberly. Good morning. It's good to see you. Hi, Joyce. Good morning to you. Hi, Dar. Good morning. Arlene is here. Dar, Joyce, Kimberly. Becky says, saw it all fine. Lots to play with. Yeah, and I didn't think I had much that was boho. I could even put one of my tatted butterflies on there. I might make a couple more. I got more of the sport weight yarns, what I've been making the butterflies out of. This is just little stuff that needs to go in my teddy bears. Let's see, who else is here that I didn't say good morning to? Arlene, Becky, I think I've said good morning to everybody. Oh, you guys, now I think it was Rhonda who suggested it to me, and she's not in here, but you guys might have a good advice on this. I'm looking for an air fryer combination. And what do I look for? Do I look for a microwave air fryer, or do I look for a toaster oven air fryer? Or exactly what combinations do you guys recommend? I'm more interested in the air fryer than a microwave or toaster oven because, you know. So I'll watch for your comments. Anything, any suggestions? Thank you, Arlene, for dropping that link. That's kind of what I'm going to spend my extra money, my spending money on this month. Hi, Brenda. Good morning. Brenda, I'm getting stamps today, so I haven't sent your postcard yet, but it'll come. You use a Ninja pressure cooker air fryer. Oh, really? A pressure cooker? Like you do canning in? Or talk about the pressure cooker thing, part of it. See if that's what I would actually use. We have a convection option in our oven, so that's what I use. Well, we don't have that. We just got a basic oven. It is a self-cleaning one, which I'm very thankful for, but Arlene says, I use the pressure cooker way more than I thought I would. What do you use it for? They're saying good morning to Brenda. What would I use a pressure cooker for? All right, so this is, I've been saving out some of these because I'll show you, I've been using them as interfacing, and this is just a piece of cotton fabric, but I'm going to save this bundle out because I'm going to talk about it. These I went through the other day. These were linens that I got from Malia. She had bundles of linen for sale, and I bought 3 bundles from her, and I'm sure glad I did because lo and behold, this week, K3N, oh, here's Derwin. He was at the very bottom of everything. Hi, Derwin. I think I'll zoom in just a little bit more here. Just a teeny bit more. Arlene says, I use the pressure cooker for beans, soups, and sweet potatoes. I can do enough beans to freeze 2 quarts and eat some right away in 40 minutes total time. Wow. So do you can them? Oh, you freeze them. You freeze 2 quarts. So you pressure cook them and then you put them in freezer bags and put them in the freezer. Is that what you do? And you eat some. What kind of beans? What kind of beans do you use? I'm getting the scoop on the pressure cooker. Becky said, we have a toaster oven that's an air fryer too, but I only use it for the toaster oven. Well, I had gotten a book at the thrift store on air frying recipes. I tend to like fried foods, but I don't need all that grease and oil. And that's why I kind of want to get it. I'm more interested in the air fryer part, but as long as I'm buying an air fryer, I might as well get the combination thing. I'll have to check into the pressure cooker side. Toaster oven, we use a microwave. So and a toaster, we have a toaster that we use. It's think 1950 for that toaster and the canner. They're kind of 1950 style. And we have a KitchenAid mixer. I use that a lot. I never had a KitchenAid mixer of my own. Never had one of my own. Arlene says, I like all beans, but pintos are the ones that take 40 minutes. Now, my brother likes beans and ham together. In fact, he was eating that the other day when I walked out in the kitchen. He likes that a lot. But he doesn't buy dry beans. You know, he buys all that canned stuff. And to me, that has too much sodium in it for me. I'm cutting down on that stuff. I'm cutting down on it. This can go in my slow stitch. Now, those things can go in my... And you know, I'm starting to feel much better. Now, it was last October when I had that incident when I went to the hospital. And I'm really glad. My brother took me to the emergency room. I was nauseated. I thought I was going to faint. And he did too. It scared him. And we called the emergency room and he took me to the hospital. And that's where I got my first hint. My blood pressure was real high. My sugar levels were high. So that's what I've been cutting down on. And I've been wanting to walk, but we've had such cold weather here. It's still kind of winterish here. Spring, the grass is slowly starting to turn, but we had snow not so long ago here in March. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if it snow again, but our daffodils are starting to come up. But I'm going to get out and do more walking this spring. And I've cut way down. I cut out the red meats, cut out most of the meat. I still eat salmon. I like salmon and cod and halibut. I like the white fishes. Salmon is pink, but I like salmon. I don't care for tuna too much. You know, I've had enough tuna growing up to last me a lifetime. Becky says, I hate when Greg uses his air fryer because it's so loud. It gets on my nerves. Oh, really? So the air fryers, are they typically loud or is yours just loud? Arlene says, I save up and bought a Ninja Foodie. So it has a fryer, pressure cooker, slow cooker, and more. But I mostly use the 2 features. I'm going to check into the Ninja Foodie. I'm going to check into that, Arlene. Arlene says hers is fairly quiet, thankfully. Becky said it's currently 39 where they are right now. It's so cold after having weather nearing 80. Yeah, and I think that's what caused my cold. Of course, I get kind of a cold spring cold every year, but that weather goes up. One week it's snowing and cold, and then the next week it's in the 70s. But you remember when I did that very pixelated walking video? It was really windy that day, and that was on a Wednesday, I believe. And I think that's when I started getting sick. And the next day, I started getting really. Joyce said, "I do a walking exercise in the house, Mary." Well, I was thinking about starting stair stepping because I can stair step on the back steps. We have, like, here's our kitchen here. Right here's the kitchen, and then a door opens to the back porch where we have the washer and dryer and freezer and little sink over here. But then the steps going upstairs, there's about 6 steps going up here, and then they turn and go up that way going upstairs. Well, on those 6 steps, I can do some stair stepping, and I got some stuff over here I need to clear off. But I had one of those stair steppers. In fact, I still have it. It's up in Wisconsin. But I was thinking about that stuff in Wisconsin. If I brought it home, I could fill this house. My brother would just shake his head. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all that. I'm kind of praying about how, because I'm not ready to let go of it yet. I'm not ready to let go of some of the stuff I could. Some of the stuff doesn't mean anything to me, but some of it has a meaning to me. Let's see. Kimberly says, "I know, Becky, we planted trees this weekend, so now we need rain." Yeah, we had rain. Was it yesterday or the day before? We've been getting more rain this year. When they had all those tornadoes in Ohio, we got rain. So I'm thankful that, Ryan Hall, y'all, says the Midwest, the central Midwest area, and I don't know if he included Ohio in that, but he said it's going to be more of a tornado season. Mostly the tornadoes in the last couple of years have been happening through Arkansas and Tennessee, Kentucky. It's really been down south, the tornadoes. And Nebraska's in Tornado Alley, where I'm going today. One year they had 7 tornadoes in that town one day. 7 tornadoes on one day. So I'm tornadoes scare me. They scare me a lot. I've always been scared. I've always been afraid of tornadoes. I like my little dragon. I love my little dragon, little Derwin. What did Dar say? Dar said, "I'm not the one to ask about cooking. I set the microwave on fire trying to bake a potato." Oh, Dar. That's funny. My brother uses the microwave to bake his potatoes. I don't. I poke my potatoes good and oil them up really good because I wash them really good. I don't think he washes it. I don't think he washes his food that well. So I kind of like cooking my own food. I'm not going to comment. He says, I get after him about it, and he says, "Well, I'm 76 and I'm still alive." And I'm going, "Yeah, but you're killing everybody around you." I don't know. I get after him. I did kind of keep an eye on him when he cooked the salmon the other day, but he cleaned it up pretty good. So, but I watched. I like to cook my own food. It's useless trying to change somebody who's 4 years older than you are. Ever since the fire, Kimmers, Dar says, won't let me near, ever since the fire, Kimmers won't let me near anything that heats up. I know how you feel, Dar. I had a fire on my desk. Remember that? I set a tissue paper on fire with a candle on my desk. And that was the last time I've lit a candle on my desk. I had a Holly's candle is here someplace. I'm gonna grab some boxes for some of this stuff, and I'm slowly getting it organized, but it's taken a while. I'm into the fabrics now because I'm doing slow stitches this year, so I want to go to Hobby Lobby and get some of those flip top boxes for my fabrics. Tornadoes are scary. Yes, they are, Arlene. Yes, they are. Dar's Kitchen. Oh, Kimberly. Brenda says, we get tornadoes here. They're no fun. Thankfully, only lost trees and roofs off of some farm buildings. Yeah, they're no fun. And it's kind of scary because, you know, I think of people who work all their life, work hard all their life to have a home. And, you know, they like their home, they take care of the home, and then that big wind comes through and destroys everything. And it doesn't take that long to do it. I mean, what, 15 minutes at the most when it blows through? Because it's going fast. And we had kind of a small, they called it a tornado. And I'll tell you, it scared me. Now that was that last year or the year before? And I heard the sirens go off, and I told my brother, he was taking a nap in his bedroom, and I went in there and woke him up and said, we better get down in the basement. The sirens are blowing, and the wind started blowing pretty bad, and we had to move things off of the cellar door. We had, at that time, I had a little 3-book shelf stand there, and I had things on it, and we had to move all of that. He got down in the basement by the time it come, but I was still, the basement, he's gone up and down the basement enough, he knows where the steps are and everything, but I'm still feeling my way because it's just an old basement staircase, and there's no railing or anything, so you kind of have to hold on to the floor as you go down, you know, the back porch floor, you know, you go down into the basement, and you're kind of, your hand railing is the floor, and you're going down these steps going this way. And it's not a finished basement, but he keeps it pretty neat down there, but it's where the furnace is and everything. So, but we were headed down there, but it blew through, and it didn't do much damage to, I know he had a guy come out and look at the roof on his new garage, and the builder that built it, and it wasn't damaged. He said it was okay. So, but even that scared me because that wind was pretty high. It was pretty swift. But it was a high wind, high winds more than a tornado. In our area, there were tornadoes around us. Arlene says, Brenda, when I was a kid, this part of Tennessee got a tornado every 5 or 6 years. Now we get several every year. Yeah, it seems like Tennessee and Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma for sure. And even in Texas, they get these tornadoes. Now, we get them up here, but I think that the weather pattern, and it has probably to do with those Niños and El Niños and whatever Ryan Hall calls them, with the weather patterns, how they seem to have gone further south. All right. We don't have basements on the coast, Kimberly says. I've never been in one. Yeah. You've never been in a tornado or in a basement? Well, you guys on the coast, you have those hurricanes. What do you do when there's a hurricane coming? Hi, Marguerite. Good morning, Marguerite. Welcome in. No basements here either, Becky says. Where do you leave? Oh, you evacuate. Oh, well, that makes sense. All right. So I want to talk about what K3N did this week. And I'm very glad she did it because I've been wanting to do it. And she did bundle books. Now, she just did a little 2-page book for her stitch journal. But she showed, I finished watching the video this morning, and she showed where she made these. She's very much into eco dyeing and rust dyeing and tea dyeing, just like Rosemary. And I know in her Facebook group, she said that the dyeing process, D-Y-I-N, like dyeing cloth from natural materials, is very close to her heart. And, you know, she's going to do a series on it, but she's in London now. They're living in France, and she's doing a show in London. She's taken her bundle books to the show and some of the other things, but she did bundle books, and she showed where she did a circle. Now, I've been doing circles for my book cover, and I'm going to show you some because I've been working on them this week. And she did a circle, and the theme of it is setting what you love free, letting go, and setting free, setting things you love free. And so she stitched a circle on her fabric, and then she has that saying, if you love something, set it free, is the phrase that she's using. And it's a 2-part series. One part is a little bundle book where she's going to stitch the circle and she stitched the little quote, if you love something, set it free. She stitched that. And I'm not going to stitch this morning. I might get my piece ready. I don't think this is what I'm going to stitch on. But I'm going to take a lot of things. I'm going to get a lot of things ready to take out and bury. The other one, which she's going to bury a little book. And she did in her video, if you watched it. Toward the end, she went out in what she calls their woods. They live in a very rural area in France. I enjoyed seeing that. She talks about her walnut tree. And I'm going, we have a walnut tree out on the corner. But she buried a little bundle in her video. And this week, she's going to put one that she stitched. If you love something, set it free. She put that in her book, her stitch book. And then I think, isn't it June 16th that is the equinox? When summer starts, June 16th, is that the equinox, the summer equinox? I think it is, around that time. And so what she took out and buried, she buried it under a very mossy. She didn't bury it under the walnut tree. I'm going to bury mine under the walnut tree. I'm going to take you guys out there. I'm going to make a separate video. I'm not going to do it this morning. But the second one, the second bundle book that she's going to bury, it says, if it comes back, it's yours. I think that's what it says. I'll have to look for sure. So I need to get that ready for the sizing. But I'm going to take some of these linens out. I think I'll bury my book underneath the walnut tree. And there's black walnuts out there that the squirrels haven't got yet. I might throw some black walnuts in. She wrapped it all up. I guess I'll have to wrap mine. I have some black walnuts that I can put in there. And I'm going to bury mine out by the walnut tree in the hostas, my little book that I'm going to use in June. So, but I have some other things that I want to bury here. That's what all this, not this one. This is more or less just a piece. These I got from Malia, and I'm going to hold these up close. These are what I might do the bundle books out of because they have this little stitching here on the sides. And it's like a little, just a little stitching there. And they're linen. She's very much use natural fibers, she says. I thought, man, if she saw how much polyester we have here. But I think I'll just fold one of these up. I'll probably cut this one in half. And because hers are only 2 pages, you know, just a half of it folded in half, her bundle books. And I'll have to measure and see if this is too wide. It might be too wide for my... And then this is another cute one that might work because it's got more of a border to it. So I might use this one. Looks a little smaller. No, I don't think it's any smaller. I'll have to measure it against. Then I'm going to take some of these others. See, this one has a tear in it, but it also has, it looks like it's a G here. And I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to, out behind the garage, we have this old rusty lid. Look like it's an iron lid, but it's rusting. And I might make a rust piece. I had 2 cans that were still from my brother when he was gardening, 2 coffee cans, and they were all rusty. And when I was cleaning out the space behind the garage last spring, I said, oh, I'm never going to do any more of this. And I threw them away. Now I regret it. Here's another piece. I'm just going to make some bundles. I thought I'd use this one because I like the stitching on here. And then there's this piece. I don't know. I think this is a natural fiber, but I'm not sure. I think it looks like and it's hard to tell. I guess if you take a match to a piece of it, I don't want to take a match to it. If it melts, if you want to test a piece, if it melts, it's polyester or man-made. If it doesn't melt, that's how they know what's silk and what's polyester. So that's what I'm going to do for these pieces. I'm not going to build my bundles here. Here's another big piece. So, and then we have some old wagon wheels that I'm going to check and see how rusty they are. I every time I mow, my brother has them on the side of the garage. They're big 6-foot wagon wheels. And we got them on the side of the garage, but every time I mow, I have to roll those wagon wheels away from the side of the garage so I can mow up against the garage. But I thought maybe I would wrap one of these around the wagon wheel and tell my brother not to tear it away. And I think I'll wrap it with wire. I don't want steel wire. I'll have to see what kind of wire. I could wrap it with, she used an old jute string, but I see what kind of wrapping I have for it. So this one or this one I'm going to use for, I'm leaning toward this one because it's pretty thin. But I might have to, after I get it back, I might have to fold it just a little to get it to fit my journal. So let's get my journal out. These are the 2 that I'm looking. Now I might just wrap these real good and choose which one I want to use. Well, I'll have to, one of them, these are the ones I'm going to put out. But do I only want to put a half of it out, or I think I want to put it all out and maybe use something else for the one inside, because I think I want to do both of these. And then I'll choose which one I want to use after I bring it in. So these others, I'm going to use just to make other bundles, just to play with. I have some walnut dye. I thought I'd throw some of those pieces in walnut dye too. Some walnut ink that I made. All right. So I have a whole bunch of walnut ink that I made. This is all boho here. I have a whole bunch of walnut ink that I made, not last year. I think it was the year before last. Or it could have been the year before that. I have a shelf of it out there. My brother let me have a shelf for it. Several jars of it. And it's got alcohol in it. It's not moldy or anything. All right. So let me get out my slow stitch here behind me and show you where I'm at on that. I'm moving my fabrics around here that I threw behind me. I think I'll just pull this whole tray out so you can see where I use this kind of in my lap. Whoops. What fell? Oh, I'll have to get that. This is where I have these little things that I put on the stand beside me. Hold on, let me grab this other one. It kind of fell out of the container. Got my scissors in it. Alrighty. So of course this is I need to put these in my teddy bear. It's getting full. It gets full pretty fast. I want to save this one out, but I threw a couple others over here. Little pieces that can go in. I'll get my teddy bear out and refill that. Put it over there for now. So, and of course, I always use Ruth's needle book. Here I'm stitching with gold thread, and I put the needles that I really like to stitch with over here and here. I think I have one in my fabric yet. And so I want to do a dark and light. That was her second page, and I used one of these. This is kind of a heavyweight fabric, but I want to use another one of these to put on the cover of my journal. In fact, I might do two of them. What I've been doing is, and I need to go back and backtrack on some of it. I've been making two. One to go on the cover and one to go in the space that's not a part of the cover, but it's on that fabric that I'm using. So that's what that is. And then I tore apart this braiding here. This was all one big braid. It was all braided together. And I unbraided it. And this was a part of that buffet cover. I got so much fabric and trim and fringe and a big piece of silky on the back. And I think I only paid $5, I think, for it. And man, I really have gotten a lot out of it. And I was thinking, this is a little bit big. This one is a little thinner, I think. But let me come back to that. What I'm thinking is that I can couch some of this around a couple of these pieces that need couched. Let me get to where this part here is part of the cover. This is the area I've been working on. I did all this seed stitching in here. Let me hold it up so you guys can see it better. Did seed stitching, and I did double seed stitching. There's a Pentangle. Learned it from Pentangle. They have a Take a Stitch Tuesday. And so got some of them have triple in it. But I was thinking that I could couch this around it, because couching is something that I've been learning from K3N, and it'll make my cover a little thicker, but it's going to be the cover. And I could do that in several places in here, and I really like these colors, gold and maroon. So I'm thinking that these are the same type thing. They're just thread wrapped around the cording. And of course I could use jute or string or something, but this is recycled. So I could use some of this even on the boho. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it. But this I want to save out. So I've been working on this. I did some sashiko style stitching in here. You can't see it very well. I need to come back and do a little. I've got some empty spaces in there. And this one I'm going to leave blank. Then this is the border. This is the outside part. And that's why I'm making two. I'm backtracking. And this was week 1 of the group of the stitching where they did that weaving. And this piece I'm much happier with because I understood what I was doing. And this is woven strips. And then I took a pattern here, a circle pattern that I've used for my circles on my cover, and I made a interface pattern, and then I've been tracing around it on my circles. This is Japanese Boho. That's the back of it. This is the part I'm going to use, the front, but I'm doing 2 of them, and one will go on my journal and one will go in the outer part of it. That, like, this is the test part here, and I'm going to fill up this whole fabric with stitching. So I've been doing 2 of these. Now I didn't do 2 of the ones I have on here, so I'm gonna backtrack and do another heart one for the border and do another striped one. This is the pojaki one, and this is the kanta. Is that how they pronounce it? Circular one. So this part is this is the cover I'm working on. And so what I thought I'd do here is I'm still working on this piece. I'm not going to cut it until I've done the other circle. So what I thought I would do, if I can find my scissors here, well, I can use these fabric. So these are Pioneer Girl. No, I don't think these are Pioneer Girl. They're just a pair I got at Walmart. I don't like those, though. They're too big. Let's use these. Yeah, I'm knocking stuff around here. What I thought I'd do here in front of you is when I stitched this, I did that sashiko style, or they call it kanta stitching, where it's just straight up and down. But then, in order for these stitches not to come out, I bordered it with this blue thread here. This is, it's pretty. I need to get a sharp needle that has a larger eye, because I have trouble with my needle threading this through the needle. The needle's eye is a little bit too small for this larger thread. It's kind of a cord thread. It's not too thick, but it's just a little bit too thick for that eye. And I did a stem stitch around there. Then I wasn't sure that was going to hold all these stitches in, so I went in with some more of this gold real close in, and I did 2 rounds, and you can kind of see it on the back. This is the fabric I used on the back, so I went around my circle twice here on the back on each one. So now I'm going to cut it, and I'm thinking these stitches will stay in because I've got 2 rounds of gold and a round of the blue. And if that doesn't work, I guess I could use Fabri-Tac or something, but now what did I do with my little scissors? Did I cover them up? See, I talk and then I lose things. All right, so let me cut this. I thought I'd cut it and pin it to my fabric this morning. And then I'm going to have a piece here. I stitched right across there. I'm just going to have an extra piece of cluster there. So I don't want to cut my blue stitches. So I'm just going to kind of cut around the circle here. And I think my stitches will hold, because I think I stitched them in good enough. I could be wrong. We'll find out. Getting pretty close to the edge there. But this is all scrap fabric. I don't know where I got it all. Some I got from Pearls. Some I just, some I did buy at the quilt store, but I always buy it on sale. I still need to get upstairs. I wanted to do that, but then I got sick. I had that bad cold, and I didn't go upstairs to clean out. I got stuff upstairs that I can tear apart. I have this one black blouse that I want to tear apart and use the fabric in it as kind of a cotton blouse. I got it at the thrift store. But it's black, and I don't have a lot of black fabric. I generally don't buy black fabric. So there's one of the woven circles that will go on the cover. Let me put it in a safe place. And let's cut out the other one. And then see, I'll have this that I can put in my teddy bear. And this, I've got stitching across there. So this might pull out where I don't have stitching, but that's okay. And then I'll have this scrap. I'll have scrap. So this was from week 1, the fabric woven strips, but I didn't know at that time what that was in January 1, and I don't think Becky had even done her. I was still thinking that Japanese Boho was going to be my cover, but then when Becky did her painted fabric video, I decided I'd use that for my cover. I got kind of a loose thread there. Let's trim that end off. So this is scrap, but it's cool scrap. And it amazes me how several pieces of fabric, when you stitch it like this, it becomes its own, almost its own piece of fabric. So this is kind of a cool technique to do it like this. I got to get out upstairs and sort things out. I want to bring down the quilts that I have. I have some of my mother's quilts. I have some that my grandmother made. And I have one that I got when I lived in Wisconsin that the Amish stitched. I don't know if I brought home the quilt that my mother made for me when I went off to college. That might still be up in, but it's all machine stitched. It's pink and black, 1950 style, because I was born in the 50s. All right, I'm an old lady. So this is going to go in my teddy bear. Let's put it in here. I'll put this stuff in my teddy bear this morning, but not yet. So, and then, whoops, I'm knocking things around here. Put that back over there. These pieces I'm going to put on here, or one of them on the front. I don't know if it matters so much because they both have red and tan and blue. I kind of like this one. It's got a little bit of clock tick-tock fabric in there. It's got a little bit of black in there. This one has more blue, but it's got that white strip. So I think I'm going to put this one in the border in the test area. And this one, I'm just going to pin it on. This one, I'm going to put, I think I'm going to leave that area blank for now. I might put a blanket stitch in there. I think I'm going to put it right here. And then as I go through and do these different techniques, like this Japanese Boho, I'm going to add them in here. And then when I'm all done, I will have all of these representing the different techniques that are in the book. That's the goal. And I need to stitch this other circle, and then this is going to be the dark and light. I'll probably have to, let's see, let's get a good circle. It'll be, yeah, I'll have a little bit of dark surrounding the line, and I think I can see it from the back. I think I can see it here. Yeah, I can. So when I put my pattern down and draw around my circle, I'll make sure that I have a black border around here. It'll be the dark and light piece. I might put some stitching in there, or a charm or something. So this I think was the one I wanted to use because it's got the clock on it. And I said I was going to put it right in here. So let me get a K pin out. PK pin. And I have these little pins in here someplace. That we've been using them on my armchair. And I put them on this circle and put them in my needle book so I'd have them. So I'm just going to pin this on for now. I'm not going to stitch it on, but it will get stitched down. And this very much needs a backing, but it's going to be kind of sad to cover up all the stitching on the back. This is just the thread, I think. It's not stitching. Well, it is. I hid my thread. That's a hidden thread from my stitching this down. I need one more pin here. So I'm going to put this. Ooh, that's pretty close. I'll adjust it when I can get it out nice and flat. It's not, my fabric's not flat, but I got it in the general area there. Now I'll have a black mark around there, but I'll be doing stitching in there. All the insides are going to have stitching, and I need to fix this area in there. Okay, so oops, I still want to put this other piece in the test area, which is on the other side. Let me get it out. Hold on. Test area is on the opposite side. This is a test area here where I kind of test what I want to do. This is the blanket stitch technique that she did. This is where I actually took that heart fabric and stitched the scraps down. Now I could do that with the, let me pin this. Maybe I'll get that other scrap from here and pin it in the, and stitch it down. because I kind of like this. It kind of adds, it adds some interest to the fabric. Let me. So I'm going to be very conscious of my negative areas. I wasn't on the denim piece. I was avoiding the negative area, but maybe on the next in here, see, I very specifically stitched this inside of the circle. Maybe on this one, when I stitch this circle, I'll stitch clear across. And then I'll have some negative area that I can use. Maybe I'll just stitch from here to here because it's just straight stitching. And then I'll have negative area that I can use like I did this. Let me put another pin in here. So this might become a page in the journal itself. It might just become a part of a page where this is kind of my own play up in here. Just kind of a test area. It's not part of the cover. The cover's over on this side. So I wanted to show you that. Let's get out that. What time is it? I have to watch my time. I'm only going till 8 o'clock this morning. I'm only going until 8. If I want to get up there by 10 o'clock, get up there by 10 o'clock when the doors open. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of, I want to go to the bins this morning, see what I can find. Let's see, I want to get this. I put those pieces, these pieces. Let's grab this one. I'm specifically thinking that one. But so where could I put this? I can put it on, I can put it down here, I think. Just right in. Let's see, there's a circle there that comes around. No, I don't like it there. I have to find a good spot for it. Maybe in here. I'd have to cut it to size to find a good spot for it. These circles are kind of close together. Maybe in there. But then again, I've got, let's move it over a little bit more even. Let's put it right in here, and then right up against this one, I think. Or I could put it up against that one and not do this circle. Or I could make I have to think how I want to do that. Because I don't want to square off. I want it to be very circular. Because that's what I have, all these circles. So I think this needs to go along an edge. Maybe in here. I have to find a good spot for it. I could cover up the blank spot there and leave this spot blank. And put this right in here. Down this way. I think I like it there. Or I could cover this part up with a circle right in there. Kind of trim that off. Well, I'll decide what I want to do. I'm going to pin it right here for now. And then this will be trimmed off here because this is where I'm going to fold the journal under, the cover under. This is the mark line here for the top of the journal. I kind of like it right there. I'll pin it there for now. I might move it later. Let me get to my pins. It'll have stitching underneath of it, but it seems to fit best there. I'm trying to butt it right up to that other circle. I am having so much fun with this slow stitching this year. I'm doing other things, like on Fridays I'm doing postcards. I didn't go online. And Becky messaged me, she got her postcard, and then later in the day, Sherry Van messaged me and said she got hers. So they found their homes. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then I could come with some couching around here in this area to define that circle, which I was thinking I was going to do anyway. And let's take this pattern piece off. See, I could come with another piece right in here. Let's just put it on here for now. And that kind of keeps the circular shape, but I've used that. I might move it over a little. I've used that scrap that I had. Now I have some more scrap here, which might even fit better in these areas. It might just fit right in here. Almost. Not quite. But if I stitch it down good, now I didn't save those stitches on this piece. So I might have to get in there and put some running stitches in there to keep them from jumping out on me. So the cover itself will be pretty thick. I kind of like that, but I think I will have to couch a circle if I want that to show up. But I like using, well, let's see. This can actually come over just a little. Now I've got a gap in there. Do I have another piece? No, I think I used it. Well, we'll pin it there for now, and if I want to change it, I will. Because I'm online, and sometimes I see things differently later. And as I stitch it down, ouch, I think I have two pieces here. No. As I stitch it down, I'll stitch some of these threads in. Because it's certainly, some of these stitches aren't secure. I kind of like that. And of course, this will be a different color. So it's starting to find its way here. It's starting to find its way, and there'll be a circular piece in here. No, I was going to leave that, but I might have to put something on there after all, because, or trim this. We'll have to play with it later when I can see more what I'm doing. I could move this down here. I'm not sure. Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, I see. I do have two pieces there. Put that like that. And I'll still have to take care of this area in here. And I'll have to stitch all that down and secure it because it's flopping around on me. Little bits of negative space. That's a bigger pin. I'll just put that in. Well, that's not going to go in right. I don't want to lose it. It's bits that are falling apart there. So that's part of the scrappy from this area here. I'm not sure I like it butted right up against it though. I might change this and put it in a different area, but I'm going to leave it for now. You get the idea. And I'm going to couch around these circles. I don't know, though. What did I do with it? It's a little bit thick. And I guess I could leave it thick. But I'm thinking I might want something thinner. Let me untie this. I'm thinking I might want something thinner. I'm going to look and see what I can find at Hobby Lobby today. But this is cording on that duvet cover. Cording generally is pretty thick. I got it tied in there somehow. Oh, come on, Mary. How did you tie that in there? There it is. Wrapped it around so that it wouldn't fall apart on me. Now I want it apart. And see, that's pretty thick, but I kind of like it thick. Get it around there. But I'm a little bit wary of it. Man, look at how many strings are in there. Wow. There has to be at least 30 strands in there. At least 30 strands of strings in there. And of course, it's all wrapped. This part's starting to ravel. I don't know. I think it's a little too thick for this. I might look for something thinner. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. I might save this for something else. Let me kind of tie this back up again. All right. I think that's too thick for this. And I don't really like it in here. For one thing, if I do this too much, I'll cover up all my fabric, and I don't want to do that either. So I might take all of this out. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Let me fold this up. So that's what I've been playing with my stitch journal. I'm getting ready to go hide my fabric. I want to get the bundles ready. I'll do that. I can't do it today, but I'll do it this week. Get my bundles ready and hide them out in the yard. I think it's going to be nicer later on. And I want to finish my blue denim piece that I'm stitching on here. And I want to finish my dark and light piece. Now, I did find, where did I put them? I said I'd come back to them. Here. These are some more ties. These are some more ties that I thought I could use for boho. And this one especially. This one is very, very cool piece. And this one, I might get in here and use some of these for boho. So I'm going to put these in my boho bag. This is just, oh, I could use it. It's, of course, it's cut on the bias, but I was using it to wrap up. So I'm going to put this with my boho stuff. I set it with my slow stitching. I'm kind of just talking here. I'll come out in a minute and chat with you guys. Let me put this in my bundle here, so I don't lose it again. I'm going to have to get me a box just for boho stuff. I've got them all in about 3 or 4 bags. All right. I'm not quite done here with my slow stitching stuff. I want to show you, I got this needle threader thing. Now, I'm not going to try to do this here. Maybe Thursday morning, we'll try to get this to working. But Becky was talking to Teresa about getting these needle threaders because Teresa says she has trouble threading the needle. And this one does both the small, this is the large eye needle, and this is the small eye needle. And you put the needle eye down, insert the needle eye down into the funnel. Lay the thread across the back of the funnel. So I think that's what they're doing there. Press the button down gently and release. A small loop of thread will appear. Is that the small loop of thread there? We'll just trust it. Pull the loop until the end of the thread comes out. So I think they're pulling down here. She's pulling that loop of thread through the eye of the needle. Lift the needle from the funnel and use the cutter to cut the thread to the desired length. So I'm going to try this. I might have to have some help with it, but I got that. That came this week. This is just some red thread here. I wanted to show you, is this it? I've been using these little Trident. I chew a lot of Trident gum because it's dental approved. And the dental hygienist said that it has, I think it's some sort of an alcohol in there that helps fight the bacteria in your mouth. This is what I'm going to use some of this on my slow stitching. This also come off of that duvet cover. And so I've been kind of sorting things out and tying up my loose threads here. So I think the last thing I want to show you, and I think it's all here, is my progress in my stitch journal. I was going to stitch some paper edges, but I don't think I'm going to do that. It's almost 7:30. Of course, this is page 1, page 2. I got a tab on page 3 and 4. I need to go in here and make it. I started with the index, but I want to go in and kind of write a little bit blurb about each page and what technique she used and what each one kind of means, like the dark and light, the balance, I think. And this was different quilting techniques. I think she called this one diversity. I don't know what she called this one. I have to look. And I want to make some more bookmarks. I'm moving this little English paper piece more to the side so it doesn't get caught in the margin. I'm working on that. I haven't done anything yet. This is my Trixie. This is my heart. I got a picture of my mother and her sisters that I'm going to put under here. Just haven't got it printed off yet. This is the Pojacki page. And this is where I'm going to write those little blurbs and put them on here. I think I'm going to spray this with alcohol. I've been stitching, because this is the only one I've done, but I want to stitch these pages, border them with fabric, and border the spine with fabric. And I forgot to spray this and get a stencil and do some alcohol sprays in here, probably before I put the stitch the fabric on. I forgot to do it on this. I finished my 9 patch. I was doing all the seed stitching in here, and what I want to do is I have these numbers. I'm going to cut these little numbers out, little strips, and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on here to represent the 9 patch, because I feel like I need something in there. So this goes here. And then my leaf, I'm going to sneeze. All that fabric. I was sneezing the other day. Now I have to do my sanitizer. Every time I sneeze into my hands. You know, I cover my face. I should sneeze into my elbow. But, you know, I have to sanitize my hands every time I sneeze. Got to change my habit here. So I still have to finish my French knots here, and I was going to put white around here, but I think I'm just going to leave it. And then this is the Canta one. This is my Canta. It's a little awkward, but I'm happy with it. And then my book page, and that's what I need to get those pieces out again that I saved out here. I want to see if they'll fit. See, I'm wary because I think they're too wide. But even if they stick out a little, it's not going to hurt because it's a wraparound journal and I'll be having tabs here. So if I stitch this in here, and mine's longer. My pages, she made her square, and her book, she made hers fit her book. My pieces in here are more longer rectangles. This is the piece I'm going to put out. One of these. So do I want to use this one? Do I want to put it all out, or I'm deciding what I want to do here. If I want to put everything out, or if I want to cut it in half and use half inside and half out. I guess I'll cut it in half. And mine is fairly thin. Hers was fairly thin too. And she used a double fabric. So I may need to take one of those cotton sheets and put behind it. And she very much stressed using natural fibers out in the yard, but I think of what's out in the yard, now she has a wood, so her woods are all natural. They have moss and weeds and limbs and trees, but my yard, I have to say, I don't think my yard is all natural. We have stuff in the garden. We have the grates that the tomatoes grow up on. We have plastic bags of leaves. So I understand her wanting to keep things all natural, but I just don't think in our world today it's all natural. And to tell you the truth, I think that even synthetic things represent our culture, and even though I don't think we're destroying our environment, I'm just saying I don't think our environment is in our yard area. I don't think it's completely all natural. Au natural. She'd probably throw away some things we have out there. But I was thinking of places where I could put these. Now I have underneath of the trees, I put mulch, that redwood mulch. And it's starting to, I did that the year before last. So it's starting to decompose. But I thought I would bury one of these. I have several. I'm going to bury them under different places in the yard. I thought I'd bury one of these under that red mulch and see if any of the red of that mulch would come off on it. I'm going to bury one up by the walnut tree. We have railroad ties, which have creosote in them. Out in the yard, out in the garden area. We got some railroad ties. I thought I'd tuck some under the railroad ties. Is that a needle in the curtain? What is that? No, it's just a piece of silvery thread on the curtain. And then out behind the yard, behind the garage, I talked about those wagon wheels and the big old round metal lid thing. There's a tub out there too. So I might put some underneath there. I've been thinking of places where I could put things. Now, she said hide it in a tree too, but we have squirrels. I'm not sure that the squirrels, and it's pretty windy here in our area of Nebraska. We get pretty high winds. But I might bury some out in the garden. And then in June, I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to get things ready. And I'll take you guys out to where I hide everything. And then in June 16th, we'll go look for everything. But I think I'm kind of finger pressing this out. I think I'll cut this one in half. Well, I don't have to even cut it in half. If I don't cut it in half, I won't have a very big piece to hide. So I might have to use more than one. I might have to use a larger. Let's see what else I saved out here. I saved this one out. This one's not as delicate though. This is more of a dresser scarf. I like this one. This has got all of those. Let's see what this one is. I might just take this little one and bundle the whole thing up because I can't cut it in half unless I have a half of a page. And I want a full page. Let's look at this one. This one, I could cut it in half and it's going to be bigger, but I wouldn't mind cutting it down to size to fit here. And I might cut it vertically. And it's going to be a book. Let's see, I could maybe this way. I could almost do thirds here. I'm playing. I could have a 3-page book. I could have a 3-page book easily and be a little bit bigger, but it was going to be bigger anyway. But if I cut it, make it there, then I only got this much for what I'm going to bundle. So I don't like that. I like it better like this. And then, yeah, I'm going to do it like this. And then this half will go out in the yard. So this is a piece that I'm going to use for my book because I've got enough. So that's going to be my book. I'm going to cut that apart later. Not going to do it here. And then these pieces I'm going to bundle up and well, they're not eco-dime, but hide them. Hide them in the yard, various places. I'll take you with me. And I might do a couple more because I've only got, what? 1, 2, 3. I thought I had 2 that size. 1, 2, 3. Here's the other one, 4. I might throw these in there. So all of these, I think I'm going to hide out in the yard, and we'll see in June what they come out like. And the half of this one. So there's my slow stitch saga. I'm not going to do any slow stitching. I'm just talking this morning. So I'll come out and chat, and then it's 7:35. I'll chat with you guys for a while, and then I think I'll sign off because I need to get dressed. If I want to get up there by opening time, of course, there'll be a crowd. There's always a crowd. I only have gone once, but man, I'll tell you, there was this, I was really kind of offended at him. He was a young man. He was in his 20s, and he went from bin to bin, from table to by table, and he just mixed everything up. He just, I mean, he just made a mess out of it. I don't know what he didn't even look like he was looking. And I felt like telling him to slow down and look at stuff, but I didn't want to cause a scene. Mary, not cause a scene? All right, let's put my teddy bear stuff away. This is all going to go back out in the living room. I'm going to keep that out separate. And this is all stuff I'm working on. And I just keep this tray in my lap. Now, see, I was thinking about buying me a lap tray, but the ones I were looking at on Amazon were like $70. They had the legs, and then they had all the clamps and little drawer, and you know, it was really kind of like a little desk area. But I'm going, I got this tray that Becky's got me started using this tray out in the other room. Here's a piece that I cut. We won't play with it anymore. And this goes outside in the yard, and these are just, these, I'm going to put them on here. These are just, I use them for interfacing. And yeah, Derwin, you're not going out in the other room. All right, let me put this behind me and get a teddy bear out. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to have to step over Boho bags. Let me move these a little. That's all the beads from, the beading from Sean and Lindy. Hold it. I gotta move this stuff or I'll never get out of here. So this teddy bear, I just started him and he's already full. And let's just empty. Let's empty this out. I just have stuff that a lot of this stuff is from the ties. Because I tore apart all those ties. And not everything, though. I have a lot of scrappy scraps. Some of this stuff I bundled up. I thought I could use for my meditation scrolls. I think I'm going to keep those separate. I have 3 of them. I've done that before. Some of this stuff I've just had around. And I just getting it all into one spot here. That's pretty. I think I'll keep my tatting in here. And then when I want little scrappies, I know to find my teddy bears. Whoops. That's not the right lid, Mary. So I've almost filled 2 little teddy bears. And then these I'm going to use for my meditation scrolls. I'll just keep those in there. Whoops. There's a tie thing. We'll leave that in there. Okay. Let me put these behind me because they go back out in the kitchen. The other thing I wanted to show you. What did I do with it? I wanted to show you this. Let me get this off. I had gotten that off of eBay a couple months ago when I was tatting. Last year sometime I was tatting. And I ordered this. And she had a bunch of lace stuck in here. But there's a bunch of tatting thread. And K3N talked about using natural threads. And look at this is the American Thread Company manufacturers, made at someplace in Connecticut, USA. Doesn't tell. Mercerized crochet thread. Would that be natural? TCO Fall River. I can't read that real tiny print. But I was thinking about, she dyes some of her threads, and I was thinking about taking some of this thread. This is a crochet thread too. She sewed it as a tatting. This is 610 crochet cord. I wouldn't really have to even dye that. I could make it darker. And then there's some extra stuff here. Some green. This is Clark's mercerized crochet thread. She sold it as tatting thread. It's really crochet thread. They actually have tatting threads. come in little bundles like this. I don't know if this is one. This is one I could dye. I could wrap it in a bundle like she does and dye it. I might save this one out. But I like these little wooden spools. And then I got extra stuff here that's just stuck in there. I'm not sure. This one I could, well, you know, I'm kind of hesitant to take it off of the original spool with these. They aren't wooden. These are cardboard. This one is wooden. And this one is wooden. I think I'll leave those on. But I could use some of this thread. It's strong. It isn't rotten. And then there's a box of J.P. Coates pearl sheen for general embroidery, especially suitable for cut work. Oh, it's not in there. Well, some of it is. There's some crochet hooks. This all came with it. I haven't really explored all this stuff. Becky made some, oh, talk about tiny hooks. Let me show you these. What's that? That's a crochet hook. Let me show you these. Get them out of the bag. There's a whole set of them here from large to small, but these small ones are really tiny to do thread work with. Look how small they are. Tiny, tiny. That one's, this one right here is real tiny. Very tiny. And then I got a larger one here, which is a, what is it? I can't read it. G as in going. G hook. So she sent those. There was some more stuff in here too. I took them out. There were some colored threads. I took them out. I don't know what I did with them. And I guess this is the pearl sheen stuff that it's, what it's talking about here. J.P. Coates pearl sheen. J.P. Coates pearl sheen. So that's this. I could dye some of this because it's already bundled. It's already bundled. Let's take one out. And I was thinking about bundling this one. So I'll take this one out, and I'll take that one out. And was there anything else in here? That's an address. I knocked it down on the floor. Oh, my chair's caught. There. So I like to get this stuff. I could use this too. Although this I could stitch with the way it is. Some of these I could. They're just, these are cardboard ones. They're kind of cool though. Put this one back in here. I had more in here. I had a bunch of little ones. I think I put them in a baggie. And then I have this I need to sort out. I need to sort all this stuff out. I like that red. All right. And I'll sit there. I'll sit there and work at stuff like this until I get it all unraveled. You shaky, shaky, shake it. And it will work itself out because it's really not knotted. It's just tangled. And as you shake it, it will untangle itself. But you have to do a lot of shaking. All right. So let's put the crochet hooks back in there. And I'm going to keep this out. And I'm going to keep this out. And what time is it? It's 7:46. I have one more thing I want to do. This I'm going to keep separate. I think I'll put it over on my stitch. On my, what am I running over now? Honestly, my chair's running over something here. It's like magazine pages. That fell out of that pile of books I have here. Hold on. Let's see what I ran over. Flowers. Flower images that I'm saving. It'll be time to plant flowers pretty soon. I don't think I'm going to, well, I don't know, but I was thinking what I might do this year for my porch plants is buy nicer ones and fewer nice ones. I have this here. Let me get it out. I have this walnut ink here. And I thought maybe, I don't know if this is sized or not. Let's get this out of the way. I thought I could throw this thread in there. I haven't used this for a while. It looks like it might be kind of yucky. I don't know if I want to use it. I might throw this away and come back and do this later. I think I'm going to throw this stuff away. I'll throw it out behind the garage. Walnut ink, you have to be careful where you put this stuff because walnut ink will, there are certain plants that are not the ink, but walnut. There are certain plants that will not grow underneath of a walnut tree. It's got a certain something in it that some plants can't. The weeds grow, but some of your floral plants don't grow underneath of a walnut tree. So I would never put this in the garden area. I'll throw it out behind the garage. I think I'm going to throw this away and get out. I know the ones in the cupboards are okay, but this one I've been using for art stuff, and I think I probably got gunk in there because I see gunk in there. I don't want to put my thread in it. But I'm going to try dyeing this and this, and I'll do that later. So let me come out and chat with you guys a little, and then I'm going to leave at 8 o'clock. So I've been kind of just chattering away here at you rather than talking to you. Let me welcome you all in and see what's going on out in chat.
Ask Sherwin Williams.
Oh, I've got to turn it down. Got an ad. Skip the ad. Let me go to my chat filter. Well, let's do this too. Quality, advanced, 1080, chat filter, chat, all messages. Arlene says, out behind the garage is the dumping ground. Yeah, it really is. Well, it's kind of like I store, when I clean off the front porch in the fall, I take all the planters out there. The wind gets out there, though. We have to watch it. It surprises me. The back of the garage faces the north. And the wind can even blow all my planters around, even though I put heavy stuff on them. It seems like this, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had to go out in the backyard and pick up planters that would, and it surprised me that they blew some of them around because they're relatively heavy. They're not just little plastic planters. They're long deals, and I guess the wind was strong enough to blow them around. Oh my, Big Circle Punch stopped punching. I'm not sure why. Oh, Arlene, dear. Well, I think those blades can get dull too. Maybe punch through some aluminum foil and see if that helps. Or there might be something caught in it. Becky says a cheap one from Michael's for a small circle. Marguerite said, I bought some digital calipers to measure my hooks and needles. Oh, that's a good idea. What kind of a punch? Becky said she just broke a punch. What kind of a punch? Becky said a cheap one from Michael's. Arlene Oh, that's what they're talking about. Oh, my big circle punch stopped too. Becky broke something. A cheap one from Michael's, huh, Becky? Yeah, sometimes you get what you pay for. Although I really haven't had trouble with breaking a punch as much as I have them not cutting. Let's see. Marguerite said it's been a year ago. I learned that all that stuff 1967. Beck says I use a 6 and a 7. That's an AG. Oh yeah, that's a G, Becky said. She was talking about my crochet hook. It was a G. She said, I just clarified it for you. Becky knows this stuff before I find it out. And I don't see it until I go back and read the chat. And she's already told me. Increasing the luster while strengthening the mercenizing. Here, Becky's telling about the mercenized thread. Mercenizing is a process of treating the cotton thread and fabric in a caustic solution under tension, which causes the fibers to swell. This process allows the dye to better penetrate the fibers thereby. Oh, that's good because I'm going to dye this. We'll see how this dyes up. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's JP Coats. It's not a new thread. It doesn't have any date on it. It's 20 yards of embroidery. And what size? Does it tell me the size? Color is 1. 20 yards embroidery. Number 8. So is this a size 8 thread? It doesn't feel like a size 8. It feels more like a, not quite a 10. A 10 is bigger than this. Feels more like maybe a 12. A 20 is much thinner. This might be like a 12. It's not a real thick thread. It's an embroidery. It says number 8 on here. So it might be their number 8. That's the only number I see that makes any sense. It might be on the box. I don't want to open up the box again. Let's see. I lost my way here. That's interesting about the mercenized thread, Becky. Thank you for sharing that. I think it was to make it smoother. Becky said, I Googled it. It is treated. We'll see how it takes the dye. I'm not going to use this, though. I'm going to throw this stuff out. I've been using it for my art. I dip my brushes and stuff in there when I draw and stuff. I haven't used it for a while. I don't think it's moldy. It's just got, it's got stuff in there that needs to be thrown. It's not mold. It doesn't look moldy. It just looks gunky. All right. Becky said it is treated. I don't think you can mercenize plastics. Mercenized is cotton. Oh, you don't think it can mercenize plastic. So this is, she's saying this is a cotton. Yeah, I think I saw it said it was cotton. I think it said it on the box. It doesn't say it on here, but I think I read that it was cotton. Arlene, K3N Cloth Tales is buying hers. Check your receipt to be sure they charge you per pound, not per kilogram. Okay, I'll do that. I saw that comment that you made. I did watch your haul videos where you said they charged you per gram rather than pound or something. So you kind of had to pay more than you were expecting. Kilogram is not quite a pound. So probably the more kilograms you have, the more poundage you get in the long run. So you probably paid more than you expected. Becky said, I follow the churners as they uncover the good stuff. The churners. The churners. Let's see let me search for the It's almost 8, but let me search for the churners. The churners. The Churner Family Guy. The churners. The Churn and Amos backstory explained. Shorts. Feeling the churn, day 5. The churning population. The churning rod. Which churners do you follow? The churning cream. The trickiest thing in the churn rate. Let me go back. The churn of the century. All right, the churners. I haven't really found anything that says the churners. Future of U.S. politics. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going down. Let's go back to chat. And of course, it gave me top messages again. All messages. Churners at the bin. You follow them because they find the good things. Churners at the bins. I thought you were talking about a channel. Oh, Becky. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Oh. A kilo is 2.2 pounds. Okay. I don't talk grams and kilograms. I'm not trained in that language yet. I understand a pound and a ton. I have a ton of stuff. How many pounds is that? The churners at the bins. You like to follow them? You call them the churners because they churn everything up and uncover the good stuff. So if they charge you by the kilogram, you are paying twice. Okay. Well, I'll check the signs and make sure what they pay by, and then I'll check my receipt and say, you're charging me twice as much as you said you were going to. Let's see. Let me see what else is going on here. Just broke a punch. She was telling about mercenizing. Check your receipt. She follows the churners. Why are journals being buried? They bury them, well, it's kind of like eco-dyeing, but it's not really eco-dyeing. K3N's purpose in doing this week stitching, like she goes out into her woods and buries stuff, and the theme of this week is setting it free and letting it go, not letting the environment do its work on it. And some really nice things happen to these if you can take environmentally damaged goods. A lot of people, say, oh, you're making a rag out of it. But it's kind of it's not eco-dyeing, but it's kind of like along those lines. K3N does a lot of dyeing of her fibers in her fabrics. Like she'll get a fabric. She was taking apart. She did a video here recently where she was taking apart a skirt that she bought. She's real big on using linens and cottons and natural fibers. This was a skirt that she bought when she was still in the UK. Well, she had 2 of them. And she said she was going to tea dye both of them. They were too bright for her. So it's kind of a thing. It's in lieu of going to, the store and buying something. It's kind of fun to do. It's just it's a thing. So I think that kind of answered the why they do it. Why are journals being buried? Del Lobo was here. It looks like she left. The thread just goes behind the funnel. Okay. Well, Becky, I'm going to try to thread a needle. I need to make sure I have a good size needle for some of this thread. I think the one I was using today will work for this. But we're going to dye this Thursday when I come in. I will be following Becky tomorrow, and we have our tatting class tomorrow. So I won't be able to. I won't stream tomorrow morning. I'll be too tired. But Thursday morning we'll get at this again. And I want to do some art journaling too. I'm kind of saving my Thursdays for art journaling, my Fridays for postcards, my Sundays for doodles, and my Tuesdays and Thursdays, well, my Tuesdays for slow stitching. That's kind of what today is all about. Becky, thank you. I thought I had watched you do one, but I couldn't remember. I did mine because I was forever dropping my needles. Did not want to find it the wrong way. Becky says, do you do a needle book with videos? I can't remember. And Becky said she did a couple and she dropped some links. Let's see. Marguerite, I did not turn mine. Let's see. The heart is so cute. I remember my sister had a circular red felt one stitched with dark green. I did not turn mine. Very soft and easy on the hands, just craft felt. Del Lobo, Lizzie did a great needle book and showed all the steps. Don't have time to search the beginning, but this will get you there. And Arlene dropped a link. Marguerite says, I cut white bits like a butterfly, made out of 2 hearts, and sewed it down the middle to the outside piece, which was about an 1/8 inch bigger. It's talking about making needle books, I think. You might not want thickness on the edges. Are you talking to me or to... Oh, are you talking about my journal? I think she was talking about my journal cloth. I think Becky was telling me not to put a lot of thick stuff along my journal book cover. That's a good point, because you need to fold that under. And she might be talking about the needle book here too. I'm not sure. Nope, I use media so long as I can remember how to post. I love the needle book. There's Del Lobo. I miss saying hello to her. I'm one of those crafters. If I can see it and can craft with it, it's a craft supply. Janet, you take care. Looked like Janet Nash was in here and I missed her. So it's 8:04 on the tatting class. Thank you, Arlene, for dropping the link to the tatting class. I would say if you're still interested in tatting, it's not too late to join. Let's see where this takes me. The online tatting class. This is it. And you want to go to register. And even if you don't join, I would encourage you to register, because you'll get all the information. And you'll get any handouts, you'll get class times. Just go to that link that Arlene gave you and click the menu and click on register. And look, see, they got patterns in here. They got them all sorted by, there's the needle tatting patterns. Whoops, let's go back one. Bookmarks and butterflies and doilies and edgings and trims, and it's very inspiring. Needle tatting tips, ice drops. I don't know what ice drops are. Sounds like those things I was making, icicles. So I need to sign off. I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for spending part of your Thursday morning with me. I mean, Tuesday morning. Thursday I will be on longer. Arlene just dropped a link to Aunt Beck's either channel or video. That's what did you drop a link to? Her channel. So Arlene will be on, or Arlene will be on. Becky will be on tomorrow at well, she comes on after Anne. So she waits until Anne is over with. But what time, Becky, on Wednesday? Becky will be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. But if Anne is still on, Becky waits and Law are still on. Becky waits until Ann is off and then she shows up. The tatting class tomorrow at the online tatting class, it's all one big word. It's a YouTube channel. That will be at 3 p.m. Eastern. Let's see, what else? Today is Tuesday. So let's see, Tuesday. Kelly Rawson at 9 p.m. Stacy Catitude at 10 a.m. Oh, Becky went live yesterday morning. I haven't watched your video yet. Becky did a live stream yesterday morning, early in the morning, 6 a.m. Kathy Arbor comes on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Paint Girl is Thursday. Dusty Unicorn comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And she comes on early in the afternoon, or I think between 2 and 4. But I still don't have her times nailed down. And of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m., Beth Schuler is celebrating, marches her 5-year anniversary. So thank you all for joining me. Have a great day, and I will see you Thursday morning. Bye.